Deathbed visions are belonging to the spiritual experiences that are also giving us clear indications as to life after death, because it can often be observed that the dying, shortly before their death, are speaking to deceased relatives or acquaintances, and they obviously can see them in contrast to the people around them. These disembodied spirits have come to take the spirit of the dying person with them in order to welcome it into their world. Such perceptions are usually only known by the members of the family, but apparently they are not that rare. Basically, picking up the deceased is part of normal human behavior. Because if, for example, a family member returns home after many years away from home, they will be welcomed in a small ceremony. The deceased have preceded us to the world beyond. They are doing the same. They are informed about acquaintances or relatives that are about to die, whereupon they prepare themselves to welcome them. And they are looking forward to be able to receive them in the hereafter. Actually, the transition to this otherworldly world is a delightful experience for those who have grown old and frail. Their suffering is over, they can take off their earthly body like an old garment. And thereupon, with a healthy, ethereal body, enter a world that is greater, more beautiful, and more diverse than this earthly world. It would be nice if you wrote about your own experiences of this kind in the comments. For example, my father, shortly before his death, severely marked by cancer, quite obviously was seeing people who had died, because he called them over with the words, "Come on, get me, finally." Of course, these are only brief moments where things like that can be observed, but these moments are nevertheless nice circumstantial evidence of life after earthly death. Thereafter, you will then see an interview with Miss Rhea that is about a deathbed vision while she was caring for her dying father in the hospital. She was in a room with 4 patients, all of them being old and terminally ill. The special thing about this deathbed vision is that 2 of these patients at the same time were seeing the spirits, who came to welcome one dying man. It is also impressive proof that no one of us is left alone by the other side when we are dying, and that we are then allowed to see all those again who were dying before us. Miss Rhea, when your father was in a hospital and you were caring for him, you have made the interesting observation of a deathbed vision. Can you tell us about it?
Yes, with pleasure. There were actually 4 elderly gentlemen in this hospital room, all of whom were terminally ill, including my father. Next to me, as far as I can remember, there was a gentleman of about 90 years old, and opposite me there was another gentleman. I don't know how old he was, but he too was terminally ill. And in front of me, there was the bed in which my father occupied. And I was holding my father's hand and caressing it when I realized that the gentleman across from us kept taking off his oxygen mask, whereupon his daughter tried to put the mask back on. And the elderly gentleman on my right, who was also terminally ill, apparently suddenly saw someone on the ceiling, because he said to his granddaughter, "What is he doing up there?" Then shortly after that, he said, "Oh, there is even someone else coming." And we, that is, his granddaughter and I, exchanged questioning gazes because we were wondering just what he might have seen up there. But suddenly the gentleman with the oxygen mask also said to his daughter, "Oh, look who is here. Come on in, come in." Apparently, he too was seeing someone on the ceiling, to whom he said, "Come in." His daughter couldn't understand, because she answered him, "Dad, I'm here and not up there." Whereupon he somehow pushed her gently aside, saying, come in, come in. And at that moment, he, that is this gentleman, died. It was, well, we were all speechless. We were just looking at each other. And as for me, too, I somehow had the feeling that someone was there. Also because how can it be that two dying people see someone or somehow perceive someone without this really being the case? Do you see what I mean? Of course, the daughter had just lost her father just at that moment, and she was, of course, crying. And, well, in the end, it was some sort of tragic event, strange tragic event, I must say.
In summary, it can be said that two people were seeing some kind of spirit beings that were appearing in order to welcome this deceased man.
The man who had just passed away obviously knew the one he was seeing up there. But I don't know who it was that he was seeing, and I'm not sure either if he gave any name. But definitely he said to his daughter, "Look who's there." However, his daughter apparently did not understand that, I think, because she was sitting on the other side of his bed. So if the dying person is lying here, like this, on this side, then the daughter was sitting on the other side of him. So he was seeing the spirit being on his side, diagonally above. She then turned him around and said to him, "Dad, I'm here." What she meant was just on the other side. Whereupon he first looked at her, then pushed her away gently, saying, "Come on, come on." He apparently said this to someone else. Thereafter, he was gone.
Miss Ria, thank you very much for describing this experience.
You're very welcome.